This is ABC7 News at 11, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Haley Wilgus. Thank you for joining us tonight. In the wake of a series of layoffs in recent years, newsroom employees at Sarasota's newspaper voted to unionize tonight. The Herald Tribune is just the second newspaper in the state to do so. ABC7's Ray Collins has more on the changing landscape in the newspaper industry, both here and nationwide. Ray?
Yeah, Haley, it's been an era of layoffs and cutbacks nationwide for papers. And today, newsroom workers in Sarasota voted to form a union.
It's so tense at times that we don't want to be celebrating too hard.
Columnist Tom Lyons says some are happy and some are not inside the Sarasota Herald Tribune building.
Management tried pretty hard to talk us out of this. They talked some people out of it, but at least 22 of us are really happy.
Lyons is referring to the 22 newsroom workers who voted to form a union over the 16 who voted against it.
You know, we can't prevent layoffs, honestly. That's a fantasy. I wish we could. You know, maybe we'll end up talking about, you know, unpleasant things like severance packages, but we'll be talking about something, and now we have the means to do it. But we are dealing with a corporate owner who seems like a faraway stranger, and we think the business plan has had way too much dependence on laying people off.
That corporate owner is Rochester area-based Gatehouse Media. We reached out to newspaper management for a comment, but got none. The publisher was quoted as saying to the Poynter Institute he's disappointed about the attempt to unionize.
I'm not surprised at all, and if I were the publisher, I think I'd be saying exactly the same thing because I don't know what else I could say.
ABC7 business commentator Richard Stern says it's no secret the internet, a younger generation, and the Great Recession conspired against the newspaper industry.
I think the fact that a lot of newspapers are trying now to take advantage of digital and trying to do anything to keep their franchises viable is laudable, but I'm afraid it's a little bit like the blacksmith. They don't know where their future will be, so trying to take as much advantage of what might be available to them right now and worry about 5 years from now. But the reality is it's not going to get a whole lot better.
And questions also remain about the future of this relatively new building. Lyons says it's so underutilized it appears they're going to move out and lease a few floors across the parking lot.
Probably now it looks like we're going to be moving into that building over there. And yeah, that's just cutting back. You know, this building's bigger than we need, and the reason is we don't have very many journalists anymore.
The only other union paper in the state is the Ledger in Lakeland. Workers there voted just last month for that. The owners of that paper, by the way, the same Gatehouse Media.
Now, Ray, the Herald Tribune has had a series of different owners just in recent years.
They really have 3 owners in the past 5 years, New York Times, Halifax, and now, again, Gatehouse Media.
It's definitely changing for all of us in media. All right, thank you, Ray. An undercover drug bust by the Sarasota Police Department leads to the arrest of 35 suspected dealers of drugs, including cocaine and heroin. Combined, the suspects have more than 300 previous felony convictions. Arrests were spread out through the city, but the department also mentioned Pioneer Park as a major hotspot for drug activity.
It is very frustrating to look and see that there are 35 individuals in our community that are dealing out on our street, even after we've warned them. I've warned them from almost the first day that I got here is we're going to be targeting drug dealers in our communities. It's a felony. It is causing problems.
This was a 5-month operation. Detectives hope arrests like these will ultimately lead to them catching the suppliers. The Manatee County School District says security teams are checking out the lighting and sidewalks along 20th Street East and 50th Avenue Drive East in Bradenton. That's where a 16-year-old student was nearly sexually battered by a male suspect on Monday morning as she walked to her school bus stop. She says she was able to get away, and authorities are still looking for the suspect. Sheriff's deputies have increased patrols in the area. The school district, meanwhile, says the county would have to pay for any permanent improvements made there. And now for a check on our weather, we'll head over to Bob.
Thanks, Haley. A pretty nice night. No real threat of any significant rainfall around the area. Temperatures still on the warm side because of that lack of rain. Not to cool us off this afternoon, but it did over central Florida and along the East Coast. And we're still looking at Tropical Storm Julia. Maybe not for long, though. It's really getting sheared apart tonight as we get a strong westerly wind. Not much rain occurring at all in the Carolinas as the storm is drifting off to the east still. Expected to kind of meander just off the Carolina coast over the upcoming days. For us, we're still in some pretty thick moisture in terms of humidity, but not a lot of storms today, not a lot of areas of convergence setting up, but some bigger storms did take place along the east coast and across central Florida. For us, just one lone shower in southeast Highlands County, some other activity well offshore. Well, more in our forecast coming up in a few minutes. Haley?
Thank you, Bob. A citizens' opinion survey recently showed us that the top concerns of Sarasota County residents continue to be population growth and development. Another new report indicates that growth may not stop anytime soon. According to the Sarasota Herald Tribune, the Florida 2070 report predicts the county's population to grow by nearly 200,000 in 50 years. And more than a third of Florida's land altogether could be development by then. Sarasota is also included in the region of the state predicted to have the most development. This is all based on development trends. Sarasota Memorial Hospital is hitting the reset button on its plans to build a location in South County. SMH is dropping its appeal over the state's rejection of those plans. So instead of spending time and money on legal proceedings, officials can focus on a new application. SMH wants to first open a hospital on the property it owns on Laurel Road and a second facility in Northport. Venice Regional, meanwhile, has plans on building a new facility and has said there is no need for SMH to expand into South Sarasota County. Hillary Clinton returned to the campaign trail after taking a few days off to recover from pneumonia. She started the day with a rally in North Carolina. Tonight, she was in the nation's capital to speak at the Congressional Hispanic Caucus Institute Awards. She pledged to send a proposal to Congress on comprehensive immigration reform in her first 100 days in office and said that proposal will include a path to citizenship.
We're going to end family detention, close private detention facilities, and stop the raids and roundups.
Senator Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren will be all out on the campaign trail in the coming days to drum up support for the Democratic nominee. This as a new CBS New York Times poll shows that in a four-way race, Clinton's national lead against Donald Trump is gone. The two candidates are locked at 42% among likely voters, with Gary Johnson and Jill Stein receiving 8% and 4% respectively. And while the Republican presidential nominee spoke today at the Economic Club of New York and then rallied tonight in North Carolina, in Sarasota, local Republicans gathered at Marina Jack to celebrate the winners of last month's primary elections. Representative Greg Stubbe, who is running against Democrat Frank Alcock for a state Senate seat, gave his thoughts about Trump's down-ballot impact.
Trump's doing very good in this district, and I actually think it'll help energize a lot of people that traditionally haven't voted and Republicans that traditionally do vote.
And have you noticed this sign yet at Barnacle Bills along 41 in Sarasota? It is generating a lot of chatter. It reads, "Concealed carry okay. I am a deplorable, vote Trump." The owner posted the message on Tuesday after Clinton used the phrase basket of deplorables to describe half of Trump supporters, something which she later said was, quote, grossly generalistic. The owner tells us reaction from locals has been mixed, of course. Some people have left the restaurant in protest, while others have come in because of the sign.
I have people walking in and they go, we're deplorable. May we have a seat?
We really like it here, but we saw that sign and just in good conscience, we can't eat here anymore.
Davis says everyone is entitled to their own opinion. He plans to leave the message up until the election. Drug-free Manatee holding a health and wellness event at the Bradenton Area Convention Center today. More than 2,000 high school freshmen attended this event, which featured a motivational speaker and sessions dealing with issues affecting teens. The organization is hoping to get its message across to the younger generation to stay drug-free.
We want to catch them now so that they have the tools, they know where they can get support for the next 4 years.
It's a blast. I mean, you look around, you see all the kids, you see all the people behind me, and you see all the booths and the vendors, and it's just a great feeling to know that there's so many people that care about our kids in the community.
Drug-Free Manatee has some other events lined up, including a youth leadership gathering this weekend. Straight ahead, Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with the official Suncoast forecast. Plus, a 13-year-old dead after an officer-involved shooting in Columbus, Ohio. And a big recall to be aware of if you own a certain Samsung phone. The malfunction could be deadly.
Hurricane season is here, so when severe weather threatens, count on the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7.
We bring you storm warnings faster and with more detail than ever before.
And track storms right down to your neighborhood.
On air, online, and on your mobile device. Turn to the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7. We're here for you.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WindGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WindGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
This is a special health alert for seniors suffering with joint pain. If you have Medicare insurance, you may qualify for high-quality support braces at little or no cost.
I'm thrilled with my knee braces.
Now, there is a simple and proven solution for seniors to get out of pain with state-of-the-art support braces.
I barely feel any pain at all.
Braces for your knees and back, as well as your shoulders and ankles, too.
I'm so happy with the quality of these braces.
Call now, and you could qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost.
I can play ball again, and it doesn't hurt.
And because of my Medicare coverage, it costs me next to nothing.
So call now.
And because I have this red, white, and blue Medicare card, my braces have cost me just about nothing.
It's true. You may get a knee, back, shoulder, and ankle brace at little or no cost.
They qualified me for 2 knee braces and a back brace.
If you have knee or back pain, give them a call. They can help.
1-800-476-8967. 1-800-476-8967.
Temperatures are rising, and the deals are hotter than ever during the summer clearance event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Get the all-new Chrysler Pacifica for just $26,999 and get an additional $1,000 off with a trade-in. Hurry! Time is running out to get the new Dodge Journey for just $15,999. And right now, get up to $10,000 off a new Ram Crew Cab. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
They care. They take the time to understand you, take the time to understand your case.
There's no better satisfaction to me than to see a client who is happy because of the job we've done for them.
It's really actually very comforting to know that there's someone that you've heard of and you're getting recommendations about that you can turn to when you have a problem.
I felt like I had a partner in this, and he was going to be by my side.
Bob, some big news just coming in the Weather Center.
Just came in as we were expecting. Carl is now out there, and this one could be something interesting down the road because we talked about it at 6 o'clock, Kaylee. Some long-range models indicating that we may have a significant storm with this down the road. When I say we, I mean the Atlantic Basin.
Right.
We don't know where it's going quite yet, but we'll show you the path for the next 5 days anyway. After that, it's anyone's guess, but the indications are that it may continue on this westerly course. Look at this shot. Just a few isolated storms around. Eric Castle getting this and sending it in. Towering cumulonimbus, but just one isolated storm there, creating a little bit of rainfall across the Suncoast. Not a lot. And whenever rain fell, it created a rainbow. Art Nadelman getting this and sending it in as well. Appreciate that. That's an interesting looking shot right there. It is. And as far as the sunset, well, it was nice again tonight. Beautiful out in the beaches today. Highs were in the upper 80s near the beaches and just a few clouds around. Not a lot of activity as far as rainfall goes. There's that pretty shot right there at 8:10 looking out toward the Gulf. Well, we have Tropical Storm Julia. It's still out there. It's still kind of hanging around, moving to the west. There's still a lot of shear going on with it. It's pushing to the east right now, not all that fast, and then it's going to backtrack a little bit. By the time it gets ripped apart by some upper-level winds, some of the moisture will trail our way, it looks like. At least one of the reliable models are indicating that. And we have another little low-pressure area here in the Gulf of Mexico, and that is heading off to the west. So we really like these smaller systems. They're really quite nice to talk about because they do disperse the excessive heat in the tropics to the northern portions of the United States eventually. We are looking at a few showers along the east coast, and the rainfall amounts not very impressive at all today. across the coastline. In fact, just a few sprinkles there earlier near Northport. Nearly an inch of rainfall, a little bit more into eastern portions of Manatee County earlier this afternoon. It is warm, it's muggy, winds are out of the north, not much of a breeze to cool things off. The humidity now at 74%, and the pressure has been rising at 30.06 inches. The high today was 1 degree above the average. The low this morning well above it at 78. Our normal low 74, and it looks as though we'll stay warm overnight into the mid to upper 80s or 70s we go. No rainfall to report today, and for the month now we're below average, over an inch below average, and temperatures statewide. It did rain earlier near Jacksonville and Orlando, so they're in the 70s there. 83 in Miami. Key West not reporting at this hour. Tallahassee at 79 degrees. And statewide and locally, temperatures still pretty similar. Upper 70s to low 80s. 82 in Venice, 83 in Cortez, and 80 in Punta Gorda. Well, the satellite imagery is showing this one being sheared apart, some convection or thunderstorms developing well east, and this one's poorly organized, and it looks like it will bring some moderate to heavy rainfall to the coast of Texas, but the winds won't be all that strong. Top winds remain at 40 with Julia. It's going to be kind of drifting around, then eventually fading away over the weekend, but as I alluded to, some of that moisture will possibly track our way and give us a better chance for showers and storms, and the models are pretty much all over the place, at least for the next few days, and then eventually some of them take it off to the northeast while others take it back toward Florida. Well, here's our next system. This is Carl. We have Ian way up there in the North Atlantic, but this one here will head off to the west. Top winds at 45 miles an hour already, and there's the forecast path and track. Don't like it when it dips to the southwest like that. And 5 days from now, by Tuesday of next week, it could start bending up, but indications are that another high pressure is going to build to the north of us and keep it more on a westerly course, and some models indicate, at least the European, that this could be a significant hurricane in about 7 to 8 days, but we don't want to speculate because that's so far off that a lot of things can happen. But as I mentioned, some of this moisture will start to head in our direction, more so early next week, but it will create some convergence.